All right, y'all, let me set this up. Remember, I ain't got a crew here, so you're looking at the crew. Let me get it right. All right, there we go. That should work. Hopefully you guys can hear me just fine. Make sure it's nice and straight. There we go. Let's see. See if this works. Oh, look at that. Oh, I gotta straighten it a little. Hold on, guys. We got this. We got this. Oh, there we go. That looks nice. That looks really nice. What's going on, everybody? Nice to see you guys. Hopefully we get a couple joiners from Instagram, from Twitter. Just put it up there. Want to get a good Q&A, get to know you guys, answer all the questions you guys have. I'm gonna go on right now so I know exactly what's going on. Let me go to this channel so I can read the questions. Let me straighten this one more again. There we go. All right. All right, we're here. We're here, guys. So I hope you guys are doing well. I hope everything's good. I hope you're doing fine. I hope you're getting through everything crazy that's going on right now. Shout out right now. You guys know I used to wear Swole Clocks. They now rebranded. It's called S-Force. This thing, literally, if you wore this to a riot and you backhanded someone, they'd fly about 12 feet in the air. But I really like this thing. If you go to S-Force, watch it. What is it, man? I don't even know what it is. Let me see. This is why I have my cheat sheet here. If you go to, let me see what their site is. I don't even know what I haven't even looked at the site. It's sforcewatches.com, coupon code Lobliner. These are dope. This is the blue camo. Shout out to them real quick. Just get that off the bat. Beautiful week for Tiger Fitness. We have a bunch of new stock coming in. We'll have most of our whey protein replenished, Tyrant back in stock. All these things coming back in, guys. I want to thank you. We had a record March, April, May, and June, which means that we ran out of stuff. But good news is it's back. We're happy to be here. We're happy to have it back. Thank you so much for all the support. And I hope your business is going well. I hope your life's going well. I hope you're training hard. I hope you're staying healthy. You know, it's always like anytime there's a virus season or a cold season, like I always step up my game. I take more vitamin D. I pay more attention to getting more sunlight. You know, I make sure I'm drinking enough. I'm staying nice and hydrated all the time. Make sure I'm getting good electrolytes. And now more than ever, you got new novel viruses and shit floating around. And I just want to make sure y'all are healthy. Stay as active as possible. You know, make sure that you stay as healthy and as active as possible. But anyway, let's see what's going on here. Looking good. Thank you, Daniel. Hey, Mark, what's your opinion on COVID spike that left wants another lockdown? Well, we're testing more people. I believe India is number 2 with 2 million people being tested. And we have over 50 million people being tested. Most of the people being tested are asymptomatic or have very low symptoms. And the death rates continue to go down. And hospitalizations are not an issue. The whole point of this, you're not going to just I'm not saying the virus doesn't exist. You're not going to get rid of a virus. It is what it is. You can't just lock down and wait till nobody gets sick again. Our goal was to flatten the curve. It was called 15 days to flatten the curve. I haven't heard anything about flattening the curve since then. All I hear about is getting rid of the virus. And we saw how great we've done at getting rid of the flu. Like, it's still fucking here. And we have a vaccine. So we're not going to get rid of the virus. We have to live with the virus. We have to, you know, stay healthier. We have to make sure we protect our people who are at risk. But we can't keep our kids locked down forever. You have kids who aren't getting their school lunches they need. Kids who are more apt to be involved in domestic abuse and child abuse and human trafficking. Sex trafficking has gone up phenomenally, tremendously since this happened. So I really and truly think that even if the death rate was higher, I would still be an open it up kind of guy. If that makes me heartless, that's it is what it is. But you can't just sit back and wait for a virus to go away. And for a vaccine for what we're working on here, which is, you know, a coronavirus, you're not going to have a vaccine that's going to get rid of it long term. Like, if you even look at the flu vaccine, we still had 80,000 deaths in 1997. And, you know, we've heard from the experts themselves that if this vaccine does work, it's not going to last long. You're looking at multiple vaccines a year. So I just think we need to get up, we need to get out, and the healthy need to work, you know, just like we do every flu season, which, by the way, the flu kills a lot younger than this. We've had less than, I think, 5 deaths in the entire state of California for children. It is what it is. I don't want to spend this entire time talking about the lockdowns. I've been pretty vocal on my disdain or lack of enthusiasm for shutting down the world's largest economy over a virus. But I think you guys know where I stand by now. Good afternoon. What's up, Chad? Zoom in one click. Sound awesome. How many Antifa does it take to pick up a 25-pound kettlebell? 17. Will RAD 140 decrease fat? I'm not even sure what RAD 140 is. I'm an old school guy. Test, DECA, GH. You bring in all those funny RAD, MAQ, whatever they are. I don't know what the fuck they are. Being honest with you. How'd you find success in the face of adversity, and what made you persevere? You know, when you grow up in a situation I grew up in, you have two choices. You can either fail or succeed. Middle of the road is really hard. And what is middle of the road? I don't consider being stuck, doing something I don't love, being stuck, working 9 to 5 in the rat race my entire life. I don't consider that success. I believe that is successful. I mean, if you raise a family, and the goal is with every parent to make your child more successful than you are. So I believe that is a certain level of success. But for me, my success was the ability to basically let my mind go. When I was working for someone else, I noticed that it was very limiting to what I believe my potential could be. And working for myself, while much more stressful and a lot of times a lot less lucrative than working for someone else, gave me the ability to really flourish and really utilize my limited skill set and surround myself with those better than me, because I'm not good at a lot of things. I suck at a lot of things. And it allowed me to be able to craft a team, a support system much better than myself. So I believe that the reason I didn't cave in is because I wanted to be the best. I wanted to win. And sports taught me that. Sports taught me that in life there are winners and losers. And I'm not going to go through life being a loser. And I was at a point through a lot of my life where I was a loser. And sports taught me how to win. It taught me how to lose, but it taught me how to come back and win the next match. So, you know the old phrase, they won the battle, but they didn't win the war. You know, I look at winning every battle, every single battle, because the more battles you win, the more likely you are to win the war. That made no fucking sense, did it? What's going on, Dominic? Any general advice you give to a natural 60-year-old bodybuilder regarding gaining mass? It's going to be hard, like you're 60. My advice would be to eat in a hypercaloric state, meaning eat more calories than you burn, and to lift as heavy as possible safely. Load your body, do compound movements, squats, deadlifts, chest press, overhead press, things like that. At 60, it's going to be tougher. And also contact a doctor. At 60, you're probably a candidate for hormone replacement therapy. Because at 60, I mean, if your test levels are there at 60, more power to you. But you're looking at around like 25, 30, you know, it's like 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, and then you're like this. So just naturally speaking, you know, men are technically going to notice a hormonal decline as they age. And I would definitely get my blood work done if I were you, but it comes down to whether you're 20 years old, 30 years old, or 60 years old. To gain mass, it comes down to overloading the muscle, training hard, and eating good food. And aim to gain 1 to 2 pounds a month and start off lean. I don't like seeing people try to start gaining till they're obscenely lean. Obscenely lean, I mean 8% body fat. You see on the news, oh, well, this running back for such and such is 3% body fat. No, he's not. He's like 10 to 12% body fat. He just looks really fucking good because 10 to 12% is really lean. So we have a misappropriation of body fat is what we have. People always assume like these athletes, they spout off these weird numbers of body fat. And they're really not that lean. What up? Okay, so it made, okay, here we go. Holy shit, why did it do that? Any general, that was saying awesome energy. It's just getting started. Training splits for 3 days a week. Diego, 2 things I would recommend. I don't like full body splits. However, for 3 days a week, they might be the most beneficial. If you're like me and you like pounding muscle groups, I recommend either an upper, lower, upper, and then the next week start lower, upper, lower. Okay, or I recommend a push-pull legs. My preference would be push-pull legs, because if let's say the 1 week you want to do 4 days, it's fine. You do push-pull legs, then you do push. So you just add in another day. I think for me, if I was choosing a 3-day split, push-pull legs. And if you go to Tiger Fitness and you type in 3-day workout split on tigerfitness.com in the search, we have plenty of articles on that. Plenty of articles. By the way, this is at the Vitamin Shop right now if you haven't got it. This is the #1 selling bar at the Vitamin Shop since it's been there. I just got the note this morning, the pumpkin pie outright bar. It's not even fall, but basic bitches eat pumpkin year round. All right, guys, check it out. I know you don't give medical advice, but what exercise would you do? The bulging disc at L5. That is medical advice. That's as medically as they come. What I would recommend, honestly, is strengthening your core. Non-medical, I'm not a doctor. In fact, I'm a fucking idiot. Don't listen to me. If that's not a good enough disclaimer, nothing is. Goblet squats. If you can, grab the dumbbell, chest out, scapula retracted, hip hinge at the top, come down, and come up, all the way down. That's one. Planking is good. Anything to engage your core, strengthen it. Wall-facing deadlifts. Pretend there's a wall right here. You face the deadlift, and you face the wall. You hold a kettlebell or a dumbbell in your hand, and you stay so you don't touch the wall. You want to keep your feet, start at 12 inches, get closer and closer and closer. That'll teach you to get it up there, and that'll teach you postural integrity. However, talk to your doctor about it. Whatever I said, again, just for medical clearance, I'm a fucking idiot. Don't listen to me. But if I had a bulging disc at L5, I would probably look into that. What are your thoughts on using Sustanon 250 instead of Test E? Which is a better choice? We try to stay out of drug talk, but theoretically speaking, as long as you're taking the same amount of testosterone, it's not really going to matter. The Sustanon 250 has different esters in there. I believe there's 4 esters. I haven't looked at it in a while. I just take prescription testosterone cypionate, which is around the same as enanthate. Whereas a cypionate or enanthate will have this kind of a dispersal. Sustanon will have a short-acting propionate, I believe. Then it'll have different length esters, which goes like this. I'd rather have an enanthate and take it regularly, so you have a 16-day, I believe, half-life. So enanthate's like this, but then if you hit it at day 7, you do weekly, it just stays nice and constant. I prefer enanthate or cypionate over Sustanon. That's just my preference. But again, talk to your doctor and see what they recommend. Again, Sustanon is not prescribed by my doctor, so I just use cypionate. I'm taking Immortal daily. Do I still need supplement machine uptake or machine greens? Absolutely. Immortal is a base. It gives you everything you need. It's the bottom line what you need. However, I would like to see you get more greens. Machine greens are awesome. And machine uptake, I do like to have the extra probiotics. It gives you 1.5 billion CFUs, which is great. If you want to take your game even higher on the probiotic digestive enzyme, you got Pervitin Regulator, which actually has 15 billion CFUs, and it's a great blend of different probiotics in there. So the new Ruckus, I just got note that it is shipping this week, so we should have it in stock next week. How long until you think the value of the US dollar will crash drastically? I'm not going to make a prediction on that because people keep loaning us money. We're getting in debt, but we're getting that money from somewhere. Will it happen sooner or later? I don't know. I've been hearing about the dollar crashing since I was 15, 16 years old, since as far back as I can remember. Our debt keeps going higher. We elected a Republican. Our debt has increased even more dramatically. We're doing $1 trillion bailouts by the day. We're doing lockdowns. I don't know. I can't predict anything as far as economics or the strength of our dollar, and no one can. Because right now, look at the weird clown world we're living in, where our economy is questionable, yet our stock market is pushing back up to the highs it had before COVID hit, which is absolutely insane. As soon as the economy opens up, depending on who wins the election, if Trump wins the election again, I will make this bold prediction. I think if Trump wins the election, I think the stock market will not only go above 30, but at the end of 5 years, at the end of his 4-year term, or at year 3 in 2023, the stock market will be up to over or close to 34 to 35,000. That's my prediction based on how it reacted when he was elected the first time. And but we'll see. And again, he could still lose, so it is what it is. 5 versus 6 meals a day, as long as the macros are the same, it doesn't matter one bit. So as long as you're getting the exact same protein, fat, and carbs, it doesn't matter. It has to do with personal preference. Is resting 2 minutes between sets too long to build muscle? Studies have shown that strength gains are actually more optimal when you rest less. However, you can use rest as a variable to increase the intensity. Intensity is one of the variables involved in muscle growth or hypertrophy. So the answer is it depends on your goals. I think 2 minutes is just about right. I usually recommend between 30 and 90 seconds. 90 seconds for hypertrophy. However, it is dependent on your goals and what you want to achieve. If you need, my advice is rest as long as you need to get your next set correctly. And usually I'm resting, to be honest with you, I have 2 workout partners. So I'm resting between 2 and 3 minutes between sets. And we'll talk and bullshit around. So I don't think that's too long at all. Hey Mark, what's your opinion on defunding the police? Do you think it's a good idea? No, I don't. I think that's a horrible idea. On TRT, my number went from 300 to 1500. Now doctor says I should go off for a while because it's too high. Get a new doctor. You don't want to go off because then you're just going to go back down like below 300 because you just had exogenous. I'm guessing, did he recommend you take HCG or did he just say stop taking tests? I think 1500 is actually a great place for an active male to stay. Bye, Cammy. Upper chest not growing, please help. You got to train. And sometimes you just might have a shitty upper chest. It can happen. If you look at bodybuilders, some are just developed differently. I'm blessed with a pretty good upper chest, but I would say do incline or whatever, blah, blah, blah. That's bullshit. That ain't going to help you. It's going to recruit more front delts. I say just keep pressing, keep doing flies, keep training chest hard, and your genetics will take over the rest. Like, you're probably not going to change the shape of your chest. But, I mean, yeah, I have no information about you either. So if you're saying you're not training chest at all, I'm going to give you advice. But I'm assuming you're training chest. So my advice would be to train it. Keep training it. And I don't even know your frequency. Like, I don't have enough information to work on, Sam. I'm sorry. What do you think about the PPL and upper-lower hybrid workout split? If you enjoy it, do it. At the end of the day, your body doesn't fucking know what your split is. Your body just knows overload and frequency. So my opinion has always been, if you enjoy a workout split, to do it. Whether it's a bro split, whether it's upper-lower, whether it's push-pull legs, I don't care. Me, personally, I like doing a body part split. How did you learn to where did you learn to bodybuild? Did someone teach you self-taught degree? There's no degree in bodybuilding. There's a degree in exercise physiology, which is not bodybuilding at all. It's about movement. And you can learn about hypertrophy. I learned about hypertrophy, obviously, through a couple of my different certification programs. But you just learn. You know, one of the first gyms I trained at alongside one of my old football coaches, Coach Scott McCrilla, was Gold's Venice. So I actually just watched people. I read all the magazines back in the day, Flex. I actually ended up working for Muscle & Fitness, Flex, and all those magazines in 1999. So honestly, a lot of it is just learning from people, you know. And if you come to a great gym like Carbon Culture in Franklin, Tennessee, when you come to the gym to train, you got me there, you got Brent, you got Mr. Olympia, Brandon Curry, you know, you got all these really great pros. You got Courtney. I mean, you have a lot of great pros and you can learn a lot from them. But just going to the gym and asking questions and learning and, you know, being able to decipher things. And also there's this thing called the internet. We didn't have this at this level when I was a kid. You can watch YouTube. You can watch this channel right here and there's over 5,000 videos and probably 2,000 of those are training videos. So you can go and you can copy or take elements of my workout program, Jerry Ward's workout program, you know, Cali Muscle, Mike Rashid. Like, you can have all these different resources to learn from, right? You don't have to choose just one, but there is no bodybuilding degree, last time I checked. How to restart your workout after a long break in the gym, Tanmay? I actually just did a video on this. It was done 2 weeks ago. Just look at my video list. It's about how to start training after quarantine. The bottom line is don't kill yourself, but don't be too easy on it. You know, just get back in the gym and start lifting. Don't overthink it. Just fucking get in there and have a good time. Congratulations, you're back, right? What supplements do you recommend to get me back to my workout routine? Everything that comes from within. There's no supplement that'll help you get back into workout routine. That's on you. So firstly, the motivation from within, and I don't know what your goals are. You know, I like to have a pre-workout, so I like to have Clash and Vasky. But I mean, you need to be motivated. There's no supplement that'll help get your ass back in the gym. What'll help get your ass get back in the, what'll help you get your ass back in the gym is you getting your ass back into the gym, or if your gym's closed because these lockdowns, get your ass off your ass and get you outside or in the garage or in your kitchen doing some band workouts. What's your opinion on Elon Musk saying pronouns suck? He was talking about genders. Do you think he was insensitive? Brandon, I believe that anybody in this world should be able to identify as anything they want to. If you want to identify as a fish, you can identify as a fish. If you want to identify as a lamp, you can identify as a lamp. If you want to identify as a female and you happen to be biologically a male, you can identify as a female or a male or whatever the fuck you want to identify as. However, in biology, there are two genders, and that is male and female. Sure, there are your offshoots where someone's born as a hermaphrodite, but it's an extremely, extremely, extremely rare event. So my opinion is, if you're looking at simply classifying somebody, when you go in for an operation, if you go in to, you know, do anything, your gender is necessary. There's differences. When you're playing a sport, it's absolutely necessary because, well, men are bigger, stronger, and faster than women. And men also lack something called the Q angle. A woman has a 17-degree more Q angle of their hips. That leads to more valgus on the knees, which leads to a very, very, very significantly increased risk of ACL injury. So I definitely do believe that pronouns, if you want to call yourself he, him, them, they, I don't give a fuck. But the minute you try to tell me that biologically there are more than two genders is the minute I say, in your opinion, that might be great, but you can't kind of negate that science. But I understand that people who believe they're another gender get offended by that. But as a man who respects science and understands that there are certain things women have that men don't have, and that's a uterus. And that's a whole bunch of things, and the whole rib situation, and the Q angle. And yeah, I don't think that's insensitive at all. I think it's his opinion. And unfortunately, and fortunately, in a society where free speech is one of the leading benefits of being an American, sometimes free speech comes with the cost of you not being happy with what the other person has to say. A lot of things people say piss me off, but I'm just happy they have the right to say that. Do you think protein powder mess with blood and mutation? No. What kind of protein powder are you drinking though? It made, okay, we're back to that. I keep fucking this up, guys. I'm really not good at this. I'm looking. Don't worry, I'm on it. I'm not lost. Subbed. I stopped watching fitness YouTube after a few years after Rich Piana died. I did too. I don't watch YouTube at all. I'll watch some stuff that my partners do, like Mike Rashid and Chris Jones, and of course my good friend Brandon Curry. I watch all their stuff, but YouTube sucks. I mean, it's just the fitness community is diluted. I just don't watch it anymore. I get it, but you know, I'm here. I still put out my stuff. I don't get near the views I used to get, but if you have any interest in watching me, I'm still here. I'm still doing a video a day during the week. In late 30s, my T levels are at 550. Urologist says that's good enough. Should I preserve enough? For me, 550 isn't optimal, but for some people who don't do as much as me, it might be. It's not a matter of just the levels. It's a matter of how you feel. It's a matter of, you know, how you are performing, you know? So you can't just look at levels. You have to look at the entire picture. I have someone at my door. I'll be right back. Just hold on, guys. You good, bro? Oh, Jenny? Yeah. Gotcha. I'm back. All right, hopefully I didn't lose you guys. Sorry about that. We had to get something fixed on the porch. All right, so what is Fuerte? Fuerte is a next level MCT powder. It is 100% C8, which is the active MCT that has all the great benefits. It's the first one on the market. It's absolutely fantastic, and it should be in this week. Mark, any advice on getting over a breakup with a girl? Also been a fan for a long time. If it's for sure over, just move on. I mean, just go. I mean, there's plenty of girls out there. A lot of nice girls, I'm sure, too. I mean, just move on. Just don't sweat it. Just like anything in life, just don't worry about the past. Don't sweat it. Just move on and get a new girl, or just be single and play the field and, you know, play on, playa. That's my advice. Again, I'm probably not the guy to ask about that. Like, I'm kind of married. But if I were you, I'd just do my best to move on and get over it. What is your opinion on Antifa taking over Portland and the feds being sent there? I understand federalism. As you guys probably know, I'm a huge fan of the Constitution and how it's written, states' rights, 10th Amendment. However, when the state and local government fails to protect its citizens from complete anarchy and violence, I think it's time for the federal government to step in. Antifa is a terrorist organization. This is no longer a local matter. This is a federal matter. And I believe Antifa should be stomped out. I think they're a cancer on society, and I have no respect for the destruction of personal property of people or property of us. I mean, when they go and destroy buildings that are public property, those are our buildings. We pay taxes on them. And let's not get it twisted. What they're doing now is not about. I haven't heard about George Floyd in forever. They've hijacked a cause, and I want to see them eradicated. I absolutely do. It's gone beyond freedom of speech. It's gone beyond freedom of assembly, and it's completely gone to anarchy and pushing a Marxist narrative and a Marxist mission. That's just my opinion. What are your thoughts on cardio after a workout? Heard conflicting thoughts if it's effective. Cardio is cardio. It doesn't matter when you do it. I don't know if you need to do 30 minutes of cardio a day. Doesn't matter if you do it in the morning, post-workout, or before bed, or while you're fucking sleeping. At the end of the day, just get your cardio in. What's up, Colorado Springs? Can you build muscle mass in a deficit? Anything is possible with enough lube or spit. Remember that. However, it's highly improbable. So I would rather err on the side of try to gain muscle, try to overload as much as possible, because if you're trying to gain muscle, you're less likely to lose muscle when cutting. However, to think that you're going to gain a ton of muscle while dieting, if I was to say that's going to happen to you, I'd be lying. Is low testosterone a big problem with building muscle? It can be if you have low testosterone. Do you believe in bulking and cutting? Well, I mean, I don't belong to a church, but I do believe that there is a time and place for everything. Take creatine nice to be bad for sleeping. Ginkgo, there is no stimulants in creatine. So no, creatine would not have any negative effect on your sleep. How much Bitcoin should I buy? I don't own any Bitcoin. How do you deal with gym douchebags, egomaniacs? I don't have any of those at my gym. I just don't. I think I've been to gyms where there's idiots, but I mean, I just don't care. It's just if they want to be stupid, they can be stupid. But, you know, I think it's just people have different personalities and their issues manifest themselves in whatever way they manifest themselves. And in life, you have to learn to deal with different people and adversities and personalities. And, you know, it's the gym's like life. Like there's douchebags in my neighborhood. There's stupid neighborhood watch fucking women in my neighborhood who are just annoying as shit. But you deal with them because it's life and you have to live amongst them. So, Trump 2020. Well, considering the alternative, are deadlifts overrated? For what? For speed, hex bar deadlifts are the greatest thing you could do. For muscle gain, maybe. A lot of people swear by them. Many variations of deadlift too. I encourage you to find something more effective than a Romanian deadlift for hamstrings. You know, there's many variations of the deadlift. How much protein is optimal to build muscle? 1 gram per pound of body weight. Not lean body weight, but total body weight. Should people try to keep family together or just focus on those that want to be in your life? So I'm one of those guys that if there's any toxicity in my life, I don't want it. So whether it's family or whether it's a friend, an ex-friend, or whether it's the neighbor I was just talking about, if you're going to add a toxic element to my life, I'm going to avoid you at all costs. I appreciate the advice. I'm an OG subscriber back when BioGrow was a big topic. Oh, wow, man. That's a while ago. Is there any supplement that can help me get rid of protein-induced farts? Protein shouldn't induce farts. That's overall food intake. I don't know what kind of protein you're drinking, if you have lactose intolerance or whatever. But a good probiotic would be great. Look into machine uptake and Pervinum regulator. Do body weight exercises build muscle? They can, but you know, I'd rather see you use some resistance because there are certain things you can't do with body weight. But yeah, a body weight exercise can be a great addition to your training program. Absolutely. How do you perform HIIT? Second minute. There's different ways to do HIIT. I like to do Tabata, and it's done for 4 minutes, and it's basically 8 intervals of 20 seconds on and 10 seconds off. So you go as hard as you can for 20. I mean, to the point of vomiting where you can't go any faster. Your RPE is over 8. RPE, rate of perceived exertion, goes up to 10. 10 is literally you collapse and die afterwards. 9 is you're about to die, and 8 is you're fucking going really fucking hard. So 8. It just depends. There's so many different ways to do HIIT. I encourage you to, again, go on tigerfitness.com and look on our search bar. Is creatine while trying to lose fat a bad idea? Creatine is the greatest supplement you could take no matter if you're trying to lose fat, gain muscle, or whatever. Creatine is not only shown to help you build lean mass, it's also shown to be a great catalyst for fat loss. So you should always take creatine. Lately, having no more desire to work out, even though I still want to. How do I motivate myself? Motivation's from within. Find your why. Like if you've watched The Last Dance with Michael Jordan, you'll notice that he used to make shit up to get him motivated. And whatever works for you to get motivated, do it. But I can't motivate you. It's just not. I'm not going to do it. Like you got to motivate yourself. And it doesn't really matter. Like I've gone unmotivated. Like I've gone without motivation in the gym for years, for over a year. And you just go to the gym. It's part of what you do. When will Choc Chip Cookie Whey be back in stock? I'm hoping next week. We had some supply chain delays. We sold out of stuff faster than we could have. We had 3 record months in a row. And yeah, we're hoping to get it back next week. Good, I always knew I was a fish. Yeah. I hear bodybuilders say as a rule of thumb, a 2-second negative for any exercise, but for squats and deadlifts isn't worth it. I've never heard a bodybuilder say that as a rule of thumb. The answer is no. The answer is it depends on your tempo, it depends on the list, it depends on what you're doing. But I've never heard a bodybuilder, at least a real bodybuilder, not an Instagram or a YouTube wannabe bodybuilder. I've never heard one bodybuilder count on the negative of their lift. I've never heard it. In my 25 plus years of training, I've never heard someone count. And Kent said he needs more vanilla machine whey. We all do. We all do. And we're working on it. We're working on it. Besides the new Ruckus, does MTF have any other new supplements in the works? Yes. Photo shoot Friday, gonna carve up an hour beforehand. Which one did you pick and I'll eat them? Shit, how many are you eating? We have about 17, 18 flavors, one of each. I'm gonna let this message show. Cancel the Democratic Party. They were for slavery and racist policies. They're the enemy. I'm going to move on. I don't need my channel to become a war zone with liberals and MAGA at the same time. They can both be equally headstrong in their beliefs. Any benefits to consuming casein as opposed to whey? No. If your protein is adequate, all that time. In fact, I'd say it's inferior. Caseinate has a far, far, far inferior biological value to whey. I'd always choose whey protein over caseinate 100% of the time. How's the podcast going? It's not. This is the podcast. This is it. This is what you're gonna get, because I just don't have. I can't. My schedule is fucked. Like, I was supposed to be in Ohio today, but I'm too busy. But I was just so tired of looking at charts that I decided to do this live. I'm too busy to be like, okay, at 2 p.m. I got 2 p.m. on Wednesdays. I'll do a podcast. I can't do it. So I've decided to shelf the podcast until things calm down a little bit. Are you in Pingree? No, I live in Brentwood. I've been lifting smartly, track macros by MyFitnessPal, right leg exercise lifts excel. How long would it take me to regain my lost strength from having taken 4 months off? It's individual on the person, your genetics, but 4 months is a long time. Probably a long fucking time. I mean, you're literally completely untrained right now. Is creatine safe for 15-year-old rugby players? Hair loss and shrunken balls. So explain to me through what pathway. I don't know if you're the 15-year-old asking for a friend or your kid, but how would creatine shrink your balls? It is simply 3 amino acids. I encourage you to research. I don't want you taking anything. I want you to use this thing that you're on right now. It's your smartphone. And I want you to research everything. I want you to research, and I want you to learn. I want you to learn all you can. I have type in creatine Lobliner. I've done probably 20, 30, 40 videos on creatine on this channel. The information's out there. Don't be lazy and learn about it. But the answer is, your question is absurd. And that's why I'm encouraging you to do the research and learn about it. Because if you're going to put something in your body, I want you to learn how to educate yourself on it. Okay? But the answer is, nutshell, Cliff's Notes. Everything you've said is absolutely over the top and absurd and makes no sense. Which means that just open your mind, do the research. The information's right there at your fingertips, bro. Wish you the best. Are dumbbell flies on the 4 efficient? They're dumbbell flies. I mean, they're not the best. Your range of motion is going to be limited, but it's better than nothing. There's no bad exercise. The only bad exercise is no exercise at all. How long should DMS last, i.e. soreness muscles between my body? I've been working out 4 to 5 years and taking 4 months off. You took 4 months off the gym. You're essentially starting from scratch. There's no reason to ever take 4 months off of anything. Like, there's resistance bands, there's everything, but just not going to the gym at all and not exercising at all. Like, my advice, if DOMs can last 5, 6, 7 days. But my advice would be, don't stop. Like, don't stop. Don't take 4 months off. Do something. Resistance bands, man. I did a whole 6 weeks of training with those things. Hey, Mark, tuning in from Gainesville, Florida. How's life in Tennessee? Best decision ever made. Hey, man, first, much respect to you and all you have done. Been following you for a long time. I want to ask if you sell your products in the United Arab Emirates. I would love to, but I have no distributor who's shown interest in them. On shoulder day, I usually do seated dumbbell shoulder press followed by 30-degree incline dumbbell press. Is that a bad approach? Well, anything can lead to injury if you do it incorrectly, or if you, if you do it incorrectly. So the answer is no on the injury. As for if it's a bad approach, are you getting results? Because if you're getting results, it's not a bad approach. What do you think about the Pentagon statement with UFOs not from Earth? We all knew it was real, right? This is only in 2020 can the Pentagon admit there are aliens and nobody cares. What don't you like about Biden? Pretty much everything. I mean, I don't want to turn this into that. Like, Biden is pretty much, he has no stance. He's flip-flopped on so many issues throughout the years. He's creepy. He doesn't know where he is half the time. I don't like the fact he was against segregation back in the day, against ending segregation back in the day. I don't like a lot of what he did with Obama. I didn't like Obamacare. I think Biden 8 to 10 years ago, I would have considered it. But let's take away all the issues. Let's assume that Biden is capitalist and he's anti-foreign wars. He shares all of my libertarian principles. The guy's senile. He doesn't know where the fuck he is. Like, he's just not the guy, man. And I don't want to just turn this into bashing him and everything he does. He's not the guy. Like, he's not the guy. I just don't, and I don't like the fact that as soon as, COVID hit, his first reaction to Trump shutting down the border to China was to call him a xenophobe. I didn't like that. I don't think that's the right way to look at it. So, and I don't believe we should shut down at all. What advice would you have for someone who's trying to get back into fitness while struggling with depression? Go seek professional help. And just start exercising. I mean, that question has no answer. You know what I mean? Like, because fitness will actually get you in a better mental state. So my advice would be to get moving as soon as possible. Top 3 supplements for bulking. I would take a good pre-workout with creatine, so Clash, and then food-based products, MTS Whey and the Outright Bar. Outright Bar is phenomenal because you could eat 3 of them and you got yourself, 850 calories. It's fucking great, right? Like, so I would recommend food, but Insurgent's great for optimizing testosterone. And Clash is great, or MTS Nutrition Pure Creatine's great. I like taking machine fuel during training, but it depends on your budget, your goals. But I'd also look at health. I always take Nectar. It depends what you consider a supplement. Because there's certain things I take year round that I will never not take, which is Nectar, Machine Greens, and Immortal. So I put health over anything. Are you already taking those, or are you forsaking those for bulking supplements? You know what I mean? Isn't changing a mind a sign of intelligence, not a negative thing? And every time you say, see, this is why I don't, this is why I don't get in. I don't want to defend Trump. I don't want to bash Biden. I'm just saying the dude is senile as fuck. And I don't agree with his positions on a lot of things. And I don't wish to go over all of them right now. But if you want more on my beliefs, you can find them on Twitter. But yeah, I don't want to turn it into that. I don't want to turn this into a bit. I'll give you my stance. I don't like Biden. I think he's the wrong guy, and I think he's senile, and he's fucking weird. However, I will say that I'm not going to explain all that. Like, it's just not the scope. I'm trying to get to as many questions as possible. And I try to keep my YouTube somewhat apolitical, but I will tell you that I was never for lockdowns. Weston, Florida, what's up? When doing a cut, Drop Factor says add in cardio post-workout. We start out with cardio. Yep. Start in at 3 to 5 days at 20 minutes post-workout. Huge fan. By the way, I watch almost every live on Instagram and YouTube. Thank you so much. Well, guys, it's about that time I need to go back to work. I appreciate you guys watching. Please read my comment just for the case of reading it. Please, 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 please. And try to say my name properly. Tom Sanka? Anyway, guys, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. That's Not a Game.